Hello, coffee breakers. How's everything going with you? And what's new in your neighborhood? Welcome back to what I proudly call the best virtual coffee shop in America. It's been way too long since we gathered here, right? So, do me a favor, settle in with your favorite drink, cue up some relaxing music, and let's enjoy a cup of coffee together. Let's coffee break. Hello again, coffee breakers, and welcome back. It's been a while since we've gathered here on a Saturday, hasn't it? But what matters most is that we are together now. You know what else is important? I care about each of you. You know that, those of you who have been with us since forever. But remember, God's love for you is even greater. His mercy is far beyond any burden or mistake we might carry. Take a quiet moment to connect with Him. Share your heart. Ask for forgiveness and receive His grace. Then step out and be the best coffee breaker that you can be. You know, it amazes me how much we've grown together since I first started podcasting back in 2016. Not quite like I'm doing today, but still, I enjoyed it. Can you believe it's been 9 years since that time? And Coffee Break with Carlos Michael has been on the air since February 2019. 6 incredible years. While I can't recall every single topic we've covered, one thing has always been clear. We are called to reach out to our neighbors, starting right at home with our families, whom I like to call our first neighbors. Father Mike Schmitz once encouraged, don't just be a good neighbor, be a great neighbor. Why? Because great is always better than good, and I couldn't agree more. I want that to remain the heart of this show and everything we do together, to strive for greatness in how we love our neighbors and, I might add, ourselves. Why focus on this, especially with the world as it is today? Well, that should be reason enough. However, my advice, don't stress about trying to figure out the culture. Place that in God's hands like I do every day and just keep praying. He'll work it out. He's the author of the story, right? He created us. It's not the other way around. So we just need to trust in the process. We need to trust Him. He knows what He's doing. He knows what He's doing. Meanwhile, let's see our neighbors right where they are and choose to be Christ to them, not by preaching, judging, or pointing fingers. There's enough of that going around. But simply by loving them as they are. Take time to get to know them and build relationships that aren't centered on politics or doctrine or whatever else. Those conversations can happen later, if ever, but first, let's focus on genuine connection. Got that? Genuine connection and responding to the needs in front of us. Over the years, I've learned that even if there are things I don't agree with about my neighbors, and I'm sure they sometimes feel the same about me, I won't let that stop me from loving them. Sometimes the greatest love is shown to those who aren't always the easiest to love. Now, maybe that sounds simple or even a little naive, but honestly, if I don't love them, who will besides God? At the end of the day, I truly believe this, my friends. When I know, love, and serve my neighbor, I am knowing, loving, and serving God. Credit to Father Joe Townsend for those words, which I hold close to my heart ever since he first told me about those words. So let's step out and do our best to be truly great neighbors, okay? Not just good neighbors, starting with those nearest to us, our very first neighbors, our family. Okay, let's move on to page 2. Hello again, coffee breakers, and welcome to page 2. Listen, I have a special announcement to share, not to toot my own horn or anything like that. However, the 2026 Carlos Michael Teresa-Rogers Good Neighbor Awards, which were first held in 2023, and also the CANO Awards, which will be new next year, are officially set for Saturday, August 15th, 2026. Now, here's the best part. A friend reminded me that this date is also the feast of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. What a perfect occasion to honor Our Lady, neighbors, and the spirit of friendship. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly are the Good Neighbor and CANO Awards all about? Well, the Carlos Michael Teresa-Rogers Good Neighbor Awards and the Carlos Michael CANO Awards shine a light. This is what we have on our website on everyday neighbors whose actions embody the compassion and generosity inspired by both Mother Teresa and Fred Rogers. These honors, bestowed annually through a heartfelt multi-stage nomination journey, uplift individuals, faith communities, ministries, and nonprofits that foster empathy and restore dignity. Not for accolades. We're not looking to be patted on the back or to be told, that's a great job you're doing. These are done out of genuine love and presence. Finalists are celebrated in community gatherings filled with prayer, personal stories, food, entertainment, and gracious hospitality. Grounded in spiritual strength and energized by a growing movement, these awards affirm the sacred value of neighborly outreach and elevate those who live with tenderness, humility, and a spirit of accompaniment. And by the way, the CANO Awards are also named after my dear best friend, whom I was best friends with all through high school, Diana Cano. May she rest in peace. To learn more, please visit our website, www.carlosmichael.com. Again, that is www.carlosmichael.com, and click on the 2026 Awards tab located at the top of the homepage. All right, let's close with a short story. Welcome to today's episode of Coffee House Presents, where stories aren't just told, hopefully they're remembered. Today, we journey to the edge of a forgotten town, where memory lingers like fog and truth waits in the shadows. This is a Halloween tale, but not the kind that feeds on fear. It's a story about three brothers, triplets, who follow a whisper into the past, into a house the town has tried to forget. The Shaklee mansion has long been haunted by rumor. But what if the ghost isn't seeking revenge, but release? Light a candle, leave the porch light on, and listen closely as my alter ego from the town of Friendship, Oklahoma, Alejandro Armando Armand, tells the story. Some stories don't want to scare you, they want to be heard. I'll be back after the story.
In the quiet town of Shaklee, Texas, where the wind carried whispers and the trees bent like mourners, three brothers, Elias, Micah, and Jonah, stood at the edge of the old Shaklee mansion. Born minutes apart, the triplets shared more than blood. They shared dreams. And lately, those dreams had been filled with the same name, Shaklee. The mansion loomed like a forgotten cathedral, its windows like hollow eyes. Townsfolk said it was haunted by the spirit of Old Man Shaklee, the town's founder who, in 1859, was rumored to have murdered his entire family in a fit of madness. No one had entered the house in decades, but the brothers, drawn by something deeper than curiosity, decided to investigate. Inside, the air was thick with dust and memory. Each room seemed to echo with footsteps that weren't theirs. In the parlor, they found a cracked portrait of the Shaklee family: father, mother, and 3 young sons. Elias touched the frame and felt a chill. 3 boys, he whispered, just like us. They pressed deeper into the house, guided by creaks and whispers. In the attic, they discovered a trunk filled with letters, written by the Shaklee children to their father. The words were tender, pleading, full of love. But one letter stood out. It was from the father himself, that dated the night of the tragedy. "I did not kill them," it read. "I tried to save them. The fever came fast. I buried them myself, but the town needed a villain. So, I became one." Jonah, the quietest of the 3, wept. He wasn't a monster. He was a mourner. Suddenly, the room grew cold. A figure appeared, not grotesque, but weary. The spirit of Old Man Shaklee looked at them with hollow eyes, not of rage, but of longing. "You came," he said. "You listened." Micah stepped forward. "We believe you." The spirit nodded once, then faded like breath on glass. The house exhaled. The air lightened. Outside, the wind no longer whispered warnings, it sang a lullaby. The brothers left the mansion changed. They told the town the truth, not of horror, but of heartbreak. And every Halloween after, they lit 3 candles on the mansion steps, one for each Shaklee child, one for their father, and one for the mercy that comes when we choose to listen.
The wind has quieted now. The Shaklee mansion stands a little lighter, not because the past has changed, but because someone finally listened. Elias, Micah, and Jonah didn't just uncover a ghost story. They uncovered a grief story, right? And in doing so, they reminded us that mercy often begins with believing someone's pain, even when the world has already written its ending. My friends, thank you for joining us today. May we all carry a little more gentleness in the dark or into the dark, and may the stories we tell, especially the haunted ones, make room for healing. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, not every ghost is trying to scare you. Some are just trying to come home. Also, remember this: don't just be a good neighbor. Be a great neighbor. Why? Because great, as Father Mike said, is always better than good. Until next time, God bless.